do this.
How many men would have to get their mothers to sign?
None.
Like, I'm sorry, like I see your wife has signed this. Can we get your mom to sign this?
Yeah.
That is so sexist.
Yes.
Yeah. And that happened in 2023.
Yes, it did. I know. We couldn't believe it. We were like, you know what? It kind of hurt for her.
And you're grown-ass women.
Yeah. Moms,
with
kids,
jobs.
houses, great credit scores. I mean, truly.
That is not right.
No, I didn't have a huge savings for this because I wasn't actually prepared to do it. It was just
and your
something that
daddy
happened.
signed. I mean, that's exactly what that sounds like. It just sounds so preposterous.
It is. And he gave us no money. He didn't give us anything. All he had to do was say, if they
those
mess up
four
so
people
bad,
croak, they go down in the same private plane that we don't have, then yes, I'll take care of this.
Yes. Yeah. If they mess up so badly that their houses are taken and their 401ks are drained, I'll sign up.
Wow.
We got him off this year, finally.
Good.
With as hard as life can be, I wouldn't ask to change a thing. Everything I've been through brought me closer to you. You worth it.
Hello and welcome to LFG with AQI. I'm your host, Amie Konwinski. Today we're joined by Andrea McCarter. She is the proprietor of the Clothes Mentor here in Omaha, Nebraska, along with her sister. And we're going to be talking about what it's like to open a retail shop, what it feels like going into her 3rd anniversary coming up here in June, and what she sees on the horizon. So welcome, Andrea.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to you. So I love the Clothes Mentor.
Thank you.
It is such a cool, just eclectic. It has a good vibe to it. It's a good place to shop.
Thanks.
What made you want to start a retail business in that model of upsells clothing?
So, I mean, I wish I could say that I had, this passion in it for my whole life or what have you. I didn't. In fact, what it was it found us, which a lot of people fall into with their careers. But my sister she was a credit card processing for many years. And one of her clients was NTY Franchise Group, which owns Clothes Mentor. And so for a number of years, she would tell me, oh my gosh, there's this business out there, there's this resale business, and Omaha just has no resale. I mean, we really, really don't. We have thrift and we have some consignment, almost no resale. So I didn't really get it, and at the time I was able to spend money on brand new clothes and had no issue, right? And so anyway, for years we talked about it, until one day my career had changed. I was no longer interested in climbing the ladder. In fact, I wanted to burn the ladder to the ground.
Chuck it out the window.
I was done.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what that would then mean for me if I was no longer interested in the corporate life. What would I do? So it had dawned on me, sitting on my couch one day, that I'm probably supposed to own a business. I'm supposed to do this on my own. And quite frankly, after watching several of my former bosses run businesses the way they did, I thought, well,
I can do better than that.
I mean, I can certainly do this.
I have seen how you do it, and I can do it better.
I just knew that I definitely could. Now, granted, I very much was humbled in my first year, but that being said, I just knew it was in my heart, and I called my sister, and we had not actually had this conversation at all, but I knew that the company she had worked for sold 4 different times, and we've seen that a million times, right? Where all of a sudden you find yourself working for this company who's not treating you well, it's not great. She had left to stay home with her son for about a year, and she was just trying to figure out her path because, what does that really look like? And anyway, so I said, I'm going to submit an application of interest for a franchise of Clothes Mentor in Omaha. Are you interested? And she was like, sure, go for it. And then a year later, we opened our doors.
Wow.
I mean, a lot happened between there, but
yeah,
it was just, it was like we just knew.
Yeah. Were you close with your sister?
Yeah, we've always been close. Granted,
Because business close and sister close are 2 different things.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
2 very different things. And, when you're going to go into business with your family or even a close friend, I mean, at any point, anybody who's been in business will tell you, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? You're sure you can't just do it yourself? Do you really want to do this with your sister? Like, yeah, I do. Because who else on the planet is ever going to be as loyal to me and as as interested in this as I am, right? Like we're not just going to walk away from each other because we can't. We still have to go to Christmas and Thanksgiving together. And my sister and I are a different case because we built houses within 4 minutes of each other. We've got kids the same age. We've just sort of chosen to, raise our families together. And so, but with that said, what reared its ugly head within our first year was we had no idea how to communicate with each other in a professional manner when we've been doing it our whole adult lives with other people, but for some, we just could not do it with each other.
Yeah.
And the worst part that happened was these things that from childhood that were coming into play. It was those preconceived notions of this person and who we think we are, and we have to realize that we really don't know each other in the way that we think we do. So we ended up going to couples therapy.
That's great.
I know, but the reason we had to go to couples therapy was because there isn't really
A business therapy?
there's no business therapy. I talked to this one guy, I'll never forget, this was so funny. This guy, he's a therapist, and the way that he sort of frames his business is that he is basically a business partner therapist. And I thought, wonderful, I finally found the one person in Omaha doing this. And we had a 10-minute intake call. He's like, I don't think I'm for you. I was like, I get it. I get it. This is a lot, right? This is a lot. And so I found a couple therapists that worked for both of us, and we went and we worked through how to communicate with each other in ways that we had never had to communicate before. And all the unhealthy habits that we had built since we were children, we're 4 years apart, we were able to actually work through, and it was totally life-changing for both of us.
Yeah, I imagine it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you grow up close, there's such a difference between communicating with a sister and communicating with a coworker. I mean,
100%.
yeah, you don't have the history and the baggage with a coworker that you do with a sister. And
You just treat them
Remember
differently.
that time you took my shirt in 6th grade?
Yeah,
Like, that kind of
truly,
thing.
that stuff was still there, right?
Yeah.
I was the younger
You're
sister.
stealing my clothes again?
Yes.
Like, yeah. No,
You
I
don't
can see
even
that.
realize that that's what's coming back into your brain, but it is.
Yeah.
And she and I have extremely different personalities, which is perfect for business.
Yeah.
But it's also, that how do you meld that together in a nice way?
Yeah. Especially when it takes so much, not only communication, but trust and
Yeah.
respect for each other's strengths that you have, like probably complementing strengths.
Yes.
And you both can't do exactly the same exact way.
Right. But we're both alpha, so what do you do?
Oh, yeah. Strong women. I
Strong
love that.
women, yeah.
Would you do it again?
100%.
Good.
100%.
100%.
If you would have asked me that 6 months in tears, I would have said, no, Amy, what did I do?
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard starting any business. But
Yes.
talk to me about that hard. Like, is this maybe one of the hardest things you've ever done?
Outside of, no, I was even going to say birthing children was hard, but no, this was harder.
This is harder.
This was way
Yeah.
harder. I didn't have an epidural for this.
Don't you wish?
I
Like a
kind of do.
lobotomy?
Yeah, that would have been
What
great.
would that look like?
So for me, what happened to us was unexpected and made life a little bit harder. So I decided to go all in on this in March of 2023. My goal was always to keep a job, part-time, full-time, whatever, for the first year of the business. And but of course my heart wasn't in anything. I was done recruiting. I didn't want to do that anymore. And so I had done a budget, and I was about $3,000 short per month. And I thought, that's fine, I'll figure it out. And that's a big deficit, but I was like, I'll figure it out. And then about a month after I quit my very well-paying job with amazing benefits, I found out that my husband had cancer. And so we found out within a month of that, so about April, we found out that he had stage 4. It's a skin cancer on his gum line. It's totally crazy. He was 43 years old. He's not a chewer or smoker. None of those outstanding things. It's just something that happened. And he had to have complete jaw reconstruction on his bottom jaw from, the left middle of the right. And so he had his surgery on June 7th, and we were in the process of open to buy. So we had over 400 containers of clothes sitting on our floors needing to be gone through. We had to get our doors open. We had to get at least $50,000 worth of items on our floor as quickly as possible so we could open the doors. I spent a week in the hospital with him. Meanwhile, we've got 2 little girls, of course. And luckily we have a support system, so it was amazing. And this is where it's amazing to have your sister and somebody who gets it and understands it. So she was able to pick up a lot of those pieces, but at the same time, it's just a lot going on. And so we opened our doors on June 23rd. And meanwhile, for the next, 2 months, my husband went through radiation, and I was driving him to his appointments every day and then going to the store. And we found out after about a month of being open and kind of looking at what we had created, and we said, oh my God, we kind of have a mess here. Because we had to rush the open to buy period. We just thought, let's just buy the clothes, let's get it going so we can open our doors and then we'll figure some stuff out. Well, in that process, you've got 5 new employees plus us who don't really, we really had never done it before. And so we were kind of guessing, and we overbought. And not only did we overbuy, but we bought a lot of things we really shouldn't have bought. So my sister and I went back through every item that we had purchased in, and we had to see, is this an item that should be on our floor? Is it priced correctly? And all of these things. And that took about 9 months. But the beauty of that was I really fully understood every single item that was on our floor, what sold, what didn't, and what price point we need to be at. Meanwhile, I think the store kind of took my mind off of what was happening at home, and at home was sort of taking my mind off of the store. So compartmentalizing. My husband is healthy now. It's been a crazy couple of
What a challenge.
years, but yeah. But I truly believe that it happened. It was supposed to happen this way. I wish it wouldn't have, but I don't know that I ever would have learned, financial, acuity, I guess I think, or we were living on very little, very little at one point. And it was honestly kind of some of the easiest times, not worrying about all the stuff and the things. And it was nice.
Yeah.
And as we sort of kind of built back and we got healthy and the store was doing well, I just see it so differently.
Yeah. What great learning opportunities. And you gave yourself the grace to understand that maybe this wasn't the best way, but we're going to learn from it.
Yeah.
What comes with a franchise? Did they give you operational procedures, or did they just give you the access to the branding and the name? What is part of that package?
We are very lucky. NTY Franchise Group is extremely hands-on and supportive of us, but they're also they don't hold anybody overly accountable for anything. They give us a lot of freedom on a lot of different areas, especially social media, how we arrange our store. We have a franchise business consultant who we talk to every month. They're able to look at things a little differently than us, which is amazing. We have marketing support if we want it. They've got, it's honestly, we got very lucky with this franchise group.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Did you think about, when you looked at the franchise, did you think about trying to do it on your own? Or
No.
did the franchise was just the best way for you to go?
We had considered it briefly, just in talking with some of our, mentors and people who we look up to. They said, well, why wouldn't you just do this yourself? Because I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I was a big shopper and a sales shopper at that. In my spare time, I would just scroll through Nordstrom's, different pages or Dillard's or wherever I was going. And, but that doesn't mean that I automatically know how to run a resale business.
Right.
So, I wouldn't trade that for the world. Maybe in the future, it's something that we'd be able to do once we're, out of our agreement or whatever. But I'm okay paying that percentage to them to support us in the resale, in our POS system and we truly have a good corporate backbone.
That's great. It's good to hear. So you mentioned you're almost 3 years in. At what point did you come to where you're like, this is going to work? You just kind of had that breathe out. Did you have a point? What was it?
It was that 6 months in.
6 months in.
So December of 2023, I'm in survival mode, big time, right? And up to this point, I really hadn't regretted anything. I was just, on this mindset of once we do this, then this. And this will be better once this happens. And so just keep going and going and going. And I had a little bit of a breakdown in December. And I thought, oh my God, what did I do to my family? We're not making money. Of course we're not making money. But in my mind, we're going to be making money within 3 months. It's going to be great because we know exactly what we're doing. Anyway, so we had a meeting with that month with our accountant, and we thought that would go very differently than it did. He said, you're doing good. I'm like, no, we're not. And he's like, yeah, you are. You're paying your bills. You're really not losing money. I thought, oh, okay. And then we had a conversation with our banker, and he was like, you guys are doing good. This is pretty good for your first 6 months. Same thing with our franchise business consultant. And so after those 3 conversations, I thought, oh, wait, is this the bare minimum? And we're hitting it? Okay. So all I have to do now is continue to work and go, and it's just up from here. The worst I can do is to drown in my own sorrow and not build this business. So honestly, starting January, February of the next year, we made some big changes and learned some, just valuable pieces. And I mean, our business just kept growing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that you can pinpoint that of just like, you have people telling you that you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. It's like the trees from the forest. You're
is.
so close to it. You're like, am I possibly making any dents to it? So this next segment is called Launch Fund Grind. So it's the LFG segment. So we kind of talked about launch already, kind of, what you're kind of pushed to do it. What do you think the biggest mental hurdle was for you when you decided to go forward?
When we decided to move forward with the business?
Yeah.
This is maybe an interesting way of answering your question. I didn't have one. If I'm understanding your question correctly.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was just this thing in my heart, and I'm pretty intuitive in general with myself, but I thought this is just right.
Yeah.
And it will all work out because it's supposed to work out, and if it doesn't, it's not supposed to. So the hurdles at that point were just trying to get people to believe in us, to give us money. Going back and looking at it though, I think about kind of the opposite of that, and like, should I have had some mental hurdles?
Yeah.
Should I have thought about things differently?
You had the audacity to go like, this is right.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And I look back though and think, how dare me to have that? Should I have thought about things differently? But truly, I mean, in the spot that we're in today, I'll take the hard lessons and the lumps because I learned way more on those.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you end up funding your business, that franchise? What did that look like? Did you have to come up with a large sum of money to open the franchise? And did you go through like an SBA loan? How did that work?
Yeah, so that was more of a challenge than I ever thought it would be because this is a proven concept. There just wasn't one in Nebraska. We were bringing the first one to Nebraska. So we talked to 6 different financial institutions, whether it's banks or whoever it was. And I'd say most of them kind of laughed at, like, actually one of them in particular, who was a bank here in Omaha. They spent about 5 minutes talking to me and said, okay, so you want to open a brick and mortar retail store when we're about to go into a recession. I was like, well, I guess that's what I'm saying, but it's really not that. And he brushed me off and said, you need to talk to somebody down in Kansas City. I can't help you here. And then that person never got back to me. And so we went down the path with a couple different banks, but it was like nobody understood what we were trying to do or cared. And no, we'd never owned anything before. So finally, this is interesting. I golfed with a commercial lender once. We had a great time, and I think we golfed one other time after that. And he said, hey, how's that going? And I said, well, actually, it's going poorly. I can't find anybody to help out. And he did, because he knew me, and he got it. And so he took it. And it took about 4 months. But he actually got us a conventional loan, which, I mean, I think a lot of people will feel differently, whether you feel better about an SBA or conventional. But we went conventional. Yeah, we had to mortgage our houses for it, both of us, and our husbands both signed off. And then icing on the cake was they wanted our dad as the final guarantor. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Your own houses and your husband's weren't enough. They wanted your father.
Yeah, and the funny thing was between our 2 houses and the 401ks between all of us, just what we had in assets would have tripled what we were actually borrowing.
Right.
We just didn't want to obviously take the money, we just wanted, They still needed that final, can you get your dad?
Can your daddy come in here?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was 35, my sister was 40-something.
What did your dad say when you called him?
He said, I am 3 years from retiring. He said, what? And I said, honestly, you are the fourth guarantor here.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah.
And he signed up. He was like, yeah. He's like, I don't know why I have to do this.
How
but I
many
will."
men would have to get their mothers to sign?
None.
Like, I'm sorry, like I see your wife has signed this. Can we get your mom to sign this?
Yeah.
That is so sexist.
Yes.
Yeah. And that happened in 2023.
Yes, it did. I know. We couldn't believe it. We were like, you know what? It kind of hurt for a moment.
And you're grown-ass women.
Yeah. Moms,
with
kids,
jobs.
houses, great credit scores. I mean, truly.
That is not right.
No, I didn't have a huge savings for this because I wasn't actually prepared to do it. It was just
And your
something that
daddy
happened.
signed. I mean, that's exactly what that sounds like. It just sounds so preposterous.
It is. And he gave us no money. He didn't give us anything. All he had to do was say, if they
those
mess up
four
so
people
bad,
croak, they go down in the same private plane that we don't have, then yes, I'll take care of this.
yes. Yeah. If they mess up so badly that their houses are taken and their 401ks are drained, I'll sign off.
Wow.
We got him off this year, finally.
Good.
They allowed us to remove him this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What does your day-to-day look like? Like, so you're almost 3 years in. Mm-hmm. What does your day-to-day look like going into the store? Like, because I think you've figured out purchasing. Mm-hmm. You're seasonal all the time, so you're not just one season. I shop there. I am a customer.
You know.
I do know. What does it look like for you?
Well, for me, my days, I wish that they were more consistent. They are in some ways, but my sister and I, after about the first year, and I'll back up a little bit. Our goal has always been to have more than one store. Mm-hmm. There's two of us. We are 50-50. We split everything 50-50. And because we have two people with our efforts, it would be a waste if we didn't have at least one more store.
Yeah.
Also, we're just, those ambitious kind of people. And so when we got through our first year, we started making some money. We got our process down. We're like, okay, now how do we make this something that can sustain itself so we can then go ahead and open up that next location? We had a couple of really great employees that graced our presence, and we were able to turn both of them into managers. And basically we have that's what we kind of call it, Allie. Allie and I are very, very similar in a lot of ways. She's our assistant manager. And then we have Bree, who does all of our inventory and manages online and some of those other pieces. And she's a little bit more like my sister. Mm-hmm. And so my sister and I spend most of our time working with those two, who then work with the individuals in the store for the most part. We work together on changing our processes and being more efficient. It's a never-ending. I mean, if you want to be great, you just have to keep getting better and more efficient. Mm-hmm. And that is true. I mean, that's what I was talking about at my meeting before I came here was, where are we at with this new process? Do we need to adjust this process? How long do we take to do this before we move on to something else? We just expanded our hours. So, for me, I do a lot of the marketing and the growth. I'm on the growth aspect and the community aspects. I think that's so important. And then my sister focuses more on the accounting and the numbers and the reporting. Mm-hmm. And then we both kind of merge those two pieces together, and we help manage Bree and Allie in the store and the bigger operations.
Yeah.
You can't have growth if you're in the store every day.
Right. I want you to kind of to your own horn a little bit. Are you successful compared to other stores, and how successful are you?
Well, we did win an award at conference this year, and it was technically our second full year that we won. And we won one of the highest comp awards. So we had a 36% comp increase year over year from 2024 to 2025. And this year we are on track. As of now, we're at 37% growth increase from 2025 to 2026. And it's because we are constantly working on being better and focused on how do we get to that next store. That's you've got to have something. It can't just be, great, we're successful, we make enough money,
You're running a smart business.
Yeah.
And they recognize it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that has to feel good.
it feels so good. It feels better than when I look back on the salaries and the commissions that I've left behind, and the insurance, the amazing insurance I used to have. This takes that over big time.
If you were to give advice to another woman who wants to start something, what would your piece of advice be?
My piece of advice only thing I want to say is do it. But trust your gut. Know what it is that you really want to do and why do you want to do it. Really understand those pieces and know how far you can take it. I mean, there's always the financial piece, or there's the, I'm going to have this crazy business, and people will look at it and say, you're never going to be able to make money on that. You have to ignore that. Ignore that big time.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe it leads you to your next thing. If you want something and it's the right time for you and your family, you can make anything work.
That's fantastic. I love that. And to that lender who said no because we're going into a recession, have you not heard about recession spending? People stop spending more money at Amazon and start spending more money on upcycled clothes.
They sure do.
Yeah, and so it's the perfect timing.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but we pay our local women for our inventory.
Yes.
Last year, we paid out $250,000 in cash to local women in Omaha for our product.
Yeah.
I mean, how much better does it get than that?
That sounds recession-proof.
Yeah, to me, yes, I would agree.
It really does. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. We really appreciate it. Is there anything else that you want to add? And please tell people where they can find you and how they can come shop.
Yeah, so you can find us on 149th and Maple. We always accept clothing, so if you're cleaning out your closets or whatnot, you can freshly launder your clothes, fold them, put them in a laundry basket or a tote or whatever it is. There's no minimum or maximum on how many you can bring in. We buy every day. We do buy all seasons. We look for clothes that are newer, maybe within the last 5 years and in great condition, but we're happy to review anything that you bring in. We pay cash on the spot, typically 25 to 30% of what we're going to ticket the item at. And then we also offer store credit, which is 25% more payout, so you can pick one or the other. One other thing I want to mention is that, we are for profit, and I know there's a lot of thrift stores in town that are nonprofit based and fully support different places, which is amazing, and I love that so much. What we've found in the 3 years we've been in business is, obviously there's first off, there's just a lot of waste in general, right? Mm-hmm. But even at our own store, there's a lot of things we'll buy in, and usually at the end of a clearance cycle, we still have about 500 to 1,000 items that just ultimately didn't find their home. And so we were, finding different nonprofits to donate to over the last couple of years. But what we realized really quickly was that when we show up with 10 construction grade bags of all these clothes and we think, oh my gosh, this is amazing, they can use these. What the nonprofits will typically never tell you is the burden then of, okay, now, but I have to have volunteers who can go through this, hang it, put it where it needs to go. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens when they receive clothes from the general public typically, right? And so for us, we really honed in on how can we really be of assistance to these nonprofits, who really needs us, and how can we, in the general course of our business, support these nonprofits in a really meaningful way. Mm-hmm. So we now fully support the Innocence Freed Clothing Closet. Innocence Freed is a local nonprofit run by Julie Schrader. They support women who are survivors of human trafficking and exploitation. And recently we built a closet in her new space, and for the most part, with the clothes we don't end up selling, still great. We chose to buy them. We paid money for them. It's just they didn't find a home for whatever reason. Those go to her. And if you bring clothes in to sell to us, and we maybe buy some and can't buy the rest, but we say they still have a good life in them. They're just not meant for resale. We offer to then donate to Innocence Freed. The beauty of this is that Julie then doesn't have to have multiple volunteers trying to figure out, can we use this, can we not, is it clean, is it not clean? And not only that, but then they have to dispose of these things that they can't use of yours, right? So when we bring the clothes to Julie, she can hang them right up onto her floor. She doesn't have to have different volunteers or whoever going through or disposing of anything. She knows that what we bring to her, we've gone through it, and we know that any woman would be very lucky to have the things that we can bring to her.
They're quality items.
They're quality items.
Yeah.
And within the resale world, it's not that your item isn't great. It's that it's just not fit for this particular world. But it is meant for something else and something greater. Yeah. And so it's been really heartwarming to know that there is a way for us to actually support these nonprofits in our regular course of business, but still doing such a great impact for them.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I think that's always being able to uplift other women. And you found Julie is amazing. I've known Julie for years. So I want to thank Andrea for being here today and sharing her journey with Clothes Mentor. And as always, if you want to reach out, make sure you take some time and go into the Clothes Mentor. They have amazing things. They have purses, they have bags and shoes and all kinds of different things. So thank you for being here. And as always, LFG with AQI.
With as hard as life can be, I wouldn't ask to change a thing.